So somebody could just pop in the questions and just let me know if you can see and hear us and all that fun stuff. That'd be very much appreciated. Cool. All right. Thank you so much, guys. So we're gonna get started today. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Dan Rosenrauch. I'm CTO here at Viirtue. I'm also joined by Donna from advantageIVR and our VP of Engineering, Wojciech Wieronski. We have some exciting stuff for you today. We're going through Advantage, where we're going to start with, and then we also have some exciting Vibe updates, as well as some other stuff for just our UCaaS platform and our network. So we'll hit on all those things today. And as always, if you guys do have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to pop them in the questions box. We'll try and answer them as we go through, and we tried to set some extra time aside today just in case for QA. So again, we'll get rock and rolling there. But without further ado, I'm going to give control here to Donna. And Donna, let me know if you have any issues there, but you should be good in a second.
Perfect. I see show my screen.
You're good. Awesome.
Do you guys see my screen?
We can.
Wonderful. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Donna Renee. I am the owner and founder of advantageIVR. Just a quick little history. So back in 2000, I started working part-time for an on-hold messaging company in Canby, Oregon, little tiny town. And I was making cold calls, walked into this business one day, and turns out I knew the owner from a previous job I had had. He's like, Donna, oh my gosh, I need this service. Takes me back to the office. I sit down, I sell him the service, right? And he goes, I want you to voice my on-hold message. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I love your voice. I had never thought of that, heard of it. I mean, it just wasn't on my radar at all. So I did voice that program for him, and that was that. 2 years later, they call me, Donna, we're going on TV now. We hate our commercial. Would you please go down to Coin, which is our local CBS station here, and record our commercial? Well, yeah. So I was there, and the producer said, oh, come here, you got to meet this person. It was another producer, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, that's how I got started. I wasn't smart enough to figure it out on my own. I had to stumble into the perfect fit for me, which is doing all of this. It was at my time there at Police Hold Systems that I had this vision with voice talent and telecoms. To me, it was a perfect marriage. And so for 21 years, I have been pioneering and pioneering. Isn't it fitting that I'm in Oregon, the end of the Oregon Trail, the pioneering thing? But just trying to make this happen. So with UCaaS, with VoIP phones, with everything going on, here it is. We are the definitive answer partnership. What we're going to talk about today is the image portrayed on the phone. It matters. And I have got proof coming out the wazoo for that. We're going to hear some samples. I've got some success stories, a little bit more about advantageIVR, who we are and why I think, we're good at what we do. I've got subscription credits, kind of a new animal here that I've developed. And then we're going to take a look at this new Viirtue iStore for these greetings. So this is my newest flyer that I have. When people work with me, I have white label flyers that I give to you to use as sales tools. This is my newest one. To me, it is such a great visual. So you see in the middle, it's a phone, it's a VoIP phone. But what do all these have in common? Look at the first dialogue circle: a billboard, a desktop, a radio, a TV, a newspaper, a magazine, and an iPad. What in the world do those have in common with your phone? Well, all of those are outward facing media. Everybody knows TV, media, radio, media, newspaper, media, da-da-da-da-da. It's all media. What do we do as businesses? We craft very carefully the messaging and our brand image that goes outward to these media vehicles, and we pay a lot of money to get it done. And what is the end goal? Why do we do that? Well, to get people to pick up the phone and call us and place an order. So my vision that I've always seen is, so we spend all this money on this outward facing advertising to get people to call us, and then we drop the ball. We forget that the phone is an extension of our brand, and we've got, and I don't mean any offense, okay, by this, but then we've got phone techs voicing the greetings on the fly on cutover day because nobody thought about it, nobody wants to do it. Oh, I hate my voice, so I don't want to do it, you do it. I mean, you've probably been through that, right? So this is why we exist, because the brand image on the phone needs to mirror the brand image that you're putting out on all of your marketing material. So I've got, you've heard the adage, seeing is believing. Well, I say hearing is believing. So I've got two samples here. One is of an OBGYN greeting, and the other is a telecom greeting. It's one of my clients. I have permission to use these. They're going to sound a little bit choppy. It's because they're actual greetings. So I had to delete the identifying information. Excuse me. I'll talk about these after I've played them. So the first one, this OBGYN greeting, I got an email from a client. He's like, Donna, call this number. This is your next new client. This is the worst auto attendant greeting I've ever heard in my life. So I called and I was like, I could help them. This is what we heard.
Thank you for calling OBGYN, the office of Donna. Our office is located at 3400 Building C, Suite 475, Georgia, which is located at the north side of Building C. Our fax number is 7872. If this is an emergency, please hang up and call 911.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about this, but first I'll let you listen to, I changed it, and this is what I did with it.
Thank you for calling OBGYN. If you're in labor or are from a doctor's office, press 0. For all other medical emergencies, hang up and dial 911. For all other callers, let's get you to the right person. To schedule an appointment, press 1. To refill a prescription, press 2. To speak to a nurse, press 3.
So I'm sure you could hear the difference in that. The first thing is, number one, this is an OBGYN clinic. I would have counseled do not use a male voice, because I'm telling you, as a woman who has given birth to 2 kids, it does not give you warm, fuzzy feelings to hear that voice on the auto attendant. Number 2, it was 1 minute and 38 seconds long. That's way too long. And on a day open greeting, you don't need to give them your address and your fax number and all that stuff. There are pertinent details. Boom, you got to get to it. At 58 seconds in is when they said, if this is an emergency, call 911. No. That goes at the front side. They also gave an option for a woman in labor to 0 out. That too goes at the front. So I think you probably heard how I reorder things and made it a little bit different. My second example is of an actual telecom. He voiced his own, and when he started working with me, he's like, Donna, I think I want you to do my own greetings because I just think you can do better than me. So with his permission, and it's not identified, this is what he did.
Thank you for calling. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Otherwise, please choose from the following options. For sales, press 1. For support, press 2. For accounting, press 3. To check the status of a port request, press 4. For the company directory, press 5. To hear this message again, press the star key.
Okay, there that was. That wasn't horrible, but do you want to put forth an okay greeting, or do you want to put forth something that sounds like this?
Hi, thank you for calling. Let's get started. Know the extension you need? Dial it now. For support, press 1. Sales, 2. Accounting, 3. For a company directory, press 4. To repeat these options, press the star key.
So I'm sure you could hear image matters, brand matters on your phone. So no more can we leave voicing of the auto attendant greetings till cutover day, the last thing when nobody thinks about it, and it just gets done by the only person who's willing to do it, which is the phone tech. I've got these examples here of success stories. Bob Bascom from Charleston Telecom, he hired me to do the greetings for a new client of his. I think they were a consultancy. And I did them and sent them off, and that was that. It was, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe a month later, Bob gives me a call. Hey, Donna, I keep forgetting to tell you, you got me a new client. I did? Well, do tell. He said, well, remember that client you did for me? Yeah, I do. Well, so they were in business, excuse me, they've been in business for 20 years. They just got new phones. So one of their existing clients called in right after cutover day, heard the new auto attendant, and it's like, oh my gosh, these phones are awesome. Who did your phones? So they put him in touch with Bob. Bob sold this company a new phone system. Here's the backstory of the whole thing. They already had VoIP phones. They could have done what they didn't have to buy a new phone system. They could have stayed with their existing provider. The only difference was whoever sold them their VoIP phones had the phone tech voice the auto attendant greetings. And simply by the sound, they thought that Bob's phones were better. And they were almost an apples to apples comparison. So to me, that's like, wow, duh, could have had a V8. It's really worth it to spend that extra money on the front side to get the professional recordings, because you never know when it might get you a new client. My second story is Jim Lumpkin. He's retired now, but when I did this, he was the CEO of U.S. Agencies Credit Union. Our kids played ball together. We sat on a lot of benches together. And one day he shows up and he's like, Donna, you need to help me. I called into my office today. I'm not kidding you. I heard 5 different voices as I made my way through the tree. Literally, it made me feel like the right hand does not know what the left hand is doing. That reflects on me. I mean, can you help me? I said, Jim, this is what I do. Yes. So boom, image matters. It matters to your clients when they're calling in. It matters to your internal staff. It matters. Do you have shareholders? Who's calling you? Who's listening? What image are you portraying on the phone? It matters. So the whole point here is the phone is the most overlooked customer contact point. A customer contact point, you already know this, in Marketing 101, every place when you meet and make contact with your client, whether it be a newspaper, radio, TV, billboard, phone. We can't ignore it anymore. You know, we as people, we are taking in data all day long. It's data, 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 data. How many impressions do we get a day? I forgot. It's an astronomical number. But what we're doing is we're processing that data and we're making decisions and making choices. So what they're hearing really matters. So I say don't skimp. Don't skimp on the auto attendant. Make it professional, because that perception is reality. Could be a fabulous company, but if the image isn't right on the auto attendant, like the VoIP company that lost the business, yeah. Now, how many of you had your clients hand you this yellow sheet of paper with their notes about what they want the auto attendant to say? This was given to somebody. It's an actual, this really was handed to my client, and it's in English and in Spanish. Now, nobody can sit down without doing any work and just, boom, rattle that off from there. That's not going to happen. It needs to look like that in order to, I call it booth ready, because I have a recording booth that I go into. But so just to go back to that, this is where we come in, and we do this for free. To me, this is so germane to what we do. We give it away. It's a value add. You hand us this, your client hands you this, you hand it to us, we make it this. So it is ready to go, super easy. And this is just one page of 3, because there were more greetings and they were in Spanish as well. These are some of the brands that we have represented. advantageIVR is, of course, myself, and I did start myself. And then as I've gone on over the years, I have added additional talent, because guess what? I'm not the right voice for everything. Yes, it is my voice for Maserati, Volvo, Alfa Romeo. I don't know why I became the car gal, but somewhere along the line I did. But you know what? It's not my voice on NASCAR, and it shouldn't be, because I'm not the right fit. So I have 16 or so other voice talent. We all are professional voice talent. We have agents. We do auditions for national work. We do TV and radio commercials. We do internet videos. We do e-learning narrations, whatever it is. But I just have a love for the telephony world. And I just see this need for brand images to be carried over onto the phone. And that's why we exist. And I think one of the biggest things we bring to the table is we know what to do, how to do it, and most importantly, what not to do. So here's the connection that I want to make. Why am I showing you a burger and fries? Well, because burger and fries. It's so germane. There's such a connection that if you don't want fries, you have to say, oh, hold the fries. Can I have a side salad instead? I want people to make that connection between VoIP phones and professionally recorded auto attendant greetings. That is just the definitive answer. Now, these are my new subscription credits that I have developed. I took an apple and an orange, auto attendant greetings and on hold, 2 different things, 2 different worlds, priced differently. I meshed them in to be one thing. It is a subscription credit. basically, so everything is the same, whether it's an auto attendant, a voicemail, on-hold message, it's a credit. What is a credit? It's a 75-word file. So like an open greeting, an after hours greeting, a holiday closure, you name it, even an on-hold message. 75 words is 1 credit. You want to add music to it? Great, just add another credit. Now, whether it's my voice or anybody else, we don't add any more credits for that. It's just really, really simple. I have 3 different subscription levels that you can look at. The first one is 60 credits for a year. For $230 a month, you unlock 5 credits a month. The middle package is 120 credits over a year. You unlock 10 credits per month for $350. And if you do a big volume, like if you have a lot of car dealerships or banks, people that are changing their greetings on an ongoing basis, you can unlock 20 greetings a month for $580 a month. Now, if the subscription isn't right for you, but you still want to work with us, you can buy 1 credit each for $75. Really easy to get started. We suggest just start adding 3 new greetings to all of your new agreements, all of your new proposals. If you're going to buy, say you get the 20 greetings per month, you're buying it at $580 a month, that's $29 per credit, right? So if you buy 3 greetings at $29, you sell them at $75 each or more, that's 158% ROI. That is pretty good money. We also give you sales tools. Right now I've developed 7 different flyers that you can white label to help you get the idea across. I have clients there's 2 schools of thought. I have clients that are reselling these greetings and they've turned it into a new revenue stream. I have other clients that they don't want to sell it. To them, it's a value add. And because of the subscription credits, the price is low enough that they just tuck it in the cost and they just give it away. But either way, these flyers will help to educate your client that it really is important that they have these professionally recorded greetings. I lost my train of thought for a second. I'm not here to go over these flyers. I just wanted to give you a quick overview. This is just a few of them. Congratulations, you got a new phone system. Well, great. Who's going to voice the auto attendant? Kind of plants a seed. The director of first impressions. Back in the day, back when I started in sales, which was years ago, I would cold call. I'd walk around business parks in my high heels and coat in the winter, and the receptionist was the director of first impressions. And in fact, this just hit me. In fact, it formed, I think, kind of who I am today. I walked into this one business park, opened the door. There's the receptionist desk right in front, and she had a nameplate on her desk that said Director of First Impressions. And that's what that receptionist was. And so, companies would really take seriously the hiring. Who's going to be sitting at that front desk, because they're accepting greeting people in person and on the phone. Well, now today, and how much more today post-COVID, right? How much more today is the auto attendant our Director of First Impressions? So this flyer, I think, really helps. This, I think, is my most favorite. I hope it's humorous. Don't mean to offend, but Pierre thinks he's a guard dog. Do you? Well, we think Joey's got a good voice. Does anybody else think Joey has a good voice for the phones? And on we go. Now I have my second generation that are all going to look like this. And I was thinking about a lot of my clients golf. If you want to improve your golf swing, what do? You improve your follow through. Well, you're not done with that phone install until you have followed through with professionally recorded greetings. These are the messages that you're showing to your client. And then this one is my latest, which I showed you at the front side. Now, we are going to jump into the store. I know I'm moving kind of quickly, but I want to make sure that I don't run out of time here. I am going to, let's see, I need to get out of this and jump into the store. So I don't know how it's going to be given on your end. Dan will go over that all with you, but you will pop into the Viirtue store. And this is what you'll see. Here's the first package. You can unlock 5 credits a month for $230. There's the one for 10, one for 20, and if you want to just do the one off, then you would come in. Let's say we're going to choose this one. You click sign up. and it'll say, do you already have an account? Great, well, log in. So then you would just log in, right? If you don't, well, let's register for an account. You just come in, you just fill it out, super easy and done. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you're going to do this, and if you have multiple people that work with you, I suggest you all use the same username and the same password, because all of your greetings will be loaded up to this new portal, and you're going to want everything in one place because it just is a lot cleaner that way. So learn that one the hard way. Anyway, now because this is a live store, I get hit by Stripe if I do cancellations on a sales card. So let's jump out of the Viirtue store, and I'm going to go into my test store so that I can actually show you things, because I don't mind putting $1 on my card. I don't want to put 580. So when you log into your store then that you've created, it will say, welcome, Bob from Charleston Telecom. Your credit balance is, and you can tell I've been doing this a lot, right? I've got 1,427 credits. But let's say I'm sitting down with my new client and we're going to do 5 greetings. Okay, we're going to do an open message, an after hours, a voicemail, a holiday closure, and an inclement weather closure. But I've only got 3. Well, I'm going to need to purchase more credits before I can do that. So you just click buy more credits. I have designed this, well, my developer did. I didn't do a thing except tell him what I wanted. It's like an Amazon experience. Really, it's one click. I wanted it to be that simple. So it remembers everything. The original subscription that you did. Oh, do you want to buy 10 more credits for $1? Yep, I do. It'll say, are you sure? Yep, I am. And you just wait a couple of moments and boom, now we have 1,437 credits and we are ready to place our order. So you come in here, you're like, okay, I want to order. And it will always come up with my name as the automatic choice. However, now I need to move this panel so I can see. If you just click the down arrow, you will see all the voice talent that I work with. And you see this icon here of the music? Let me pop over here for a second. This is my website, and you can be on here and you can listen to all of the voice talent that I have on here. So now you're in your store and you're looking, I'll speak English. Now you just want to listen to this, make sure that's who you wanted.
For sales, please press 1. For technical support, please press 2.
Yep, that's Michael. That's who I wanted. Do you want to add music? If you do, great. If you don't, that's great too. Most often than not, you're probably not going to be adding music. I want to show you how this works though. You hit the arrow. What I'm asking you to do is just choose a genre of music. And then what I will do is I will email you samples to listen to. Little story on that one. I used to have music samples on my website, but the truth of it was they were mediocre and I hated them and they didn't represent my brand and I never used them. I just had them on there because I thought I had to have music choices. So I took them off. I buy my music from premiumbeat.com, which is phenomenal music. Very proud of it. Very well represents my brand. But because I don't pay them $10,045 a month, I'm not allowed to put their samples on my website. But I can email you samples. So you just choose your genre. You would come in here and you would enter your greeting title. And what you title it is going to be important because that's how you're going to find what you're looking for. So I suggest when you're naming, always name them with the client that they're going to, and then what greeting it is. And you can be as complex or as easy as you want with your naming protocol, but it is going to be important. And then you would, probably cut and paste. I'm just going to, garble goop. Oops, what did I do? Entering the script. You see how I'm typing, how it's typing up the words, 23, 24, 27. That's how we know when we get over 75 words, it will automatically. Right now, this is costing us 2 credits. You see that? That's because we added music. So the file is 1 credit, the music is another. If we decide we don't want any music, we take that off. Now this is only 1 credit. If we went over 75 words, that would change it. When you want this, the due date. Today, when you hit the calendar, it enters today's date. What I'm actually working on, because this is not what I want, it will actually bring up a calendar where you can click the date that you want it. That's coming in a couple of weeks. Then you would come down here, how you're going to pay. You're going to do the one-time payment, or because you bought the 10 credits, do you want to use that? Yep, that's what I want to do. Place your order. Are you sure? Yep. And boom. Now then what happens on my end is I get an email that I have a new order. I will come over here to orders after I see my email, and I'll see this new client. It would say your name and everything. Here's the script. I would print that script, voice it. Well, in this case, Michael. I'd send it to Michael. We'd get it done. When it was done, I'd come over here. I'll click upload the file, and then that's click save, and then we're done. Back to this portal over here in the store, your IVR recordings. This is where you can see everything. You can see the date that you ordered it, the title. So that title is important. You're going to have several different clients in here and then several different greetings. This hourglass, and of course pending, that's your first clue. Oh, we haven't done anything yet. This is my clue too, to know that what I still have to work on. But when it is done, it says complete and it has the download. You would just click download, and
Welcome to Navio's.
Sorry, I hate that. I got to figure out how to make that not happen. I got to keep moving that. You just go to your downloads file, and there it is. So you will have it to upload, and that's that. So that really is it in a nutshell. So let me go back to this. Right from current slide. Sorry, I have to keep moving this webinar control thing. So that was the store. Okay, why is it not advancing? There we go. I don't know if you got the message from Dan and his team, but everybody that has registered today is entered into a drawing to win an extreme reseller makeover for yourself and a client, where I will do 5 auto attendant greetings and 1 60-second on-hold program for you and a client. So you get 2 of them. So I don't know how Dan wants to work out those details, but that's kind of an exciting, fun, free giveaway. And of course, I give a free consultation. You can reach me at Donna at advantageIVR.com. Obviously, my website is advantageIVR.com. And you can call or text at 503-905-9100. And with that, Dan, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Donna. And as you were talking, we actually had a bunch of partners who have used you in the past. So I'll share that info with you
Cool.
offline as well, too. So some great feedback there.
Awesome.
So
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Donna. We appreciate it. So I'm going to take back, if it's not a problem, presenter control here. All right, and you guys should be able to see these slides. So what we're going to do is we're going to just run through these slides, and then I'm going to pass control. Sorry to keep flipping. Pass control over to Wojciech so we can show you all the cool new Vibe updates that are out. So Wojciech, go ahead if you want to narrate this one.
Sure. Thanks, Dan. I'm Wojciech Wieronski, the VP of Engineering here at Viirtue, and it's great to be back with you guys. So we're going to try to just keep it as quick as possible, just to show you the latest enhancements that we've made that give you guys a lot of value. So the latest is essentially the Manage PBX feature, which I will jump into the demo. I'm just going to quickly voice over these features. And so what the Manage PBX feature allows you to do is essentially manage your PBX right from within Vibe. We've also made a couple of enhancements to number porting, where you can actually delete porting requests that somehow either got canceled or are no longer relevant. You have the ability to just outright delete them if they haven't been submitted. You can cancel existing ones. So let's say that you no longer need a port, or you need to resubmit a port that is no longer relevant. You can cancel it if it's already been submitted. And this is a big one. We've gotten a lot of feedback with regard to the LNP document upload process, where, for instance, you have the CSR document or you have the customer's bill right there, and you should be able to upload it right there, right then and there after you've filled out all the information, versus having to have all the executed LOAs or RESPORGs and uploading them out all at once. So now you can actually upload the documents piecemeal as you get them. And then we'll dive into the Vibe Pro beta section, which is going to highlight a new billing period selector, which enables backdated billing. Previously, you were only able to go into the previous billing cycle, the current billing cycle, and a future billing cycle. Now you can navigate as far into the future, as far back as you need, in order to help onboard your customers or potentially just bring them into the system if you already have an existing relationship with them outside of Vibe, essentially. And then a really cool feature, which is we're getting a lot of great feedback around, is the usage ratings for voice plans is now functional within the recurring charges. So you can see daily usage rating, not only actual minute consumption, but the actual dollar amount as it pertains to how the minutes are being used. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So Dan, if you can go ahead and make me presenter. All right, and that's the main screen. All right, so Dan, can you just confirm that you guys can see my screen?
Yep, you're all good.
Fantastic. So right over here, I have the Manage PBX button. I can click into that and no longer needed to open up a separate window to log into the portal. You basically, when you first bring this up, it's going to ask you to log in with your existing credentials, and then this comes up. Within, I'd say, the probably the next couple of weeks, we're going to introduce single sign-on to this portal. So essentially, your Vibe login will automatically log you in with the appropriate scope and bring up the portal. But essentially, now you just log in once through the portal, and it'll just remember you. So that when you come back, you don't have to relog back in. And it works with autofill as well. So for instance, if I were to log out and I'm back here, you can see that my credentials are here and I've got single sign-on. So all that stuff works. We've just made it easy to integrate directly with. Also, unlike other competitors, our web phone works directly out of it here. So despite the fact that we're pulling in the NetSapiens platform, you can still have full control and functionality over the complete portal as it exists here, okay? So within the number porting section here, again, we've introduced the capability, if I go into an existing port, let's say that this specific request is no longer required, I can go ahead and hit delete this request, and it'll say, are you sure you want to delete this request? I'm gonna say yes, go ahead and delete it, and it's gone, right? If there is an existing one that has been submitted, and I don't think we have any here that are submitted because this is production, but bottom line is if you were to pull one of those up, you get the little cancellation button where you can click that and it'll go ahead and request a cancellation to the LNP team with that request. All right, I'm not going to do that here because obviously then that would actually send it to them, and we definitely don't want to do that. But this is actually a pretty cool feature. So if I go into an existing document here, let's say I'm just going to fake this and get the RESPORG form here, and let's go ahead and just go into the Finder here, and I'm going to say that I'm going to upload this piecemeal. So whether it's the CSR or the RESPORG form, I can click into the Choose Files here. I can go into my downloads, and let's just say it's this one right here. It went ahead and just allowed me to upload it. So that way, when I get all the other documents, I can submit it as a whole. Also, if I want to replace it, or if I want to look at what I uploaded, I can now do that. It will allow me to go ahead and download it right from there. So we're storing now the actual files that you upload, so that way it's easier to submit it as a whole when we have everything. So that way, if you have the CSR file, or the bill when you're filling this information out, you can just go ahead and upload it immediately. That way it's sitting there and waiting for the RESPORG or the LOA once you have those as well, and then you can submit it as a whole. So that's new features and functionalities that we introduced based on feedback that we got from you guys. So hopefully that makes filling out this whole process a little bit easier and streamlines it. The part that I want to go over now is the billing period selector. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to enable billing on this account that I just created real quick. So I'm going to click edit there. I'm going to say sure. Payment term, let's just make it net 0. And let's make the billing period on the 15th. Let's add a NetSapiens domain, Syntel Solutions. That's one of ours. And I'm just going to click save. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and just enabled billing on this account, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click into the recurring charges section. Now, being that it's now February 25th, it's putting me into the current billing cycle, so it's showing me that I don't have any recurring charges. I'm right here, within the current billing period. But let's say I want to go back to January. I can click here, and this calendar is now going to show you and segment where the billing period starts and ends. So this little rounded part here is showing you that the previous billing cycle ended on the 14th, okay? And it goes back even further to January 15th. So you can navigate here. So let's say I click into the previous billing cycle. You can click on any date, okay? And it's going to basically show you, okay, the previous billing cycle was from January 15th to February 14th. I'm going to go ahead and, since this is the first time I'm doing this, let's go ahead and just add some products. Let's say I need 1 of these, 3 of these. We'll just go ahead and add those, and then we'll set an effective date of the 1st. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a voice plan, and this is where you're going to see the usage rating stuff come in. So I'm going to click add products here, custom product, and then I'm going to say my voice plan. Okay, and then you know what? Let's give it a more descriptive name. Let's say pay per minute voice plan. And I'm going to click voice plan. And then I'm going to say, okay, domestic outbound, we're going to say it's pay per minute. And let's put in a rate there. And let's give it an optional monthly service fee of $25. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add custom product here. And we're going to set an effective date of the 1st for this. Okay. So immediately when I go ahead and plug this in, you can see that it's automatically prorating the rate because the start of the billing cycle is January 15th. We selected the 1st, so it's prorating that rate, and you get a little icon here that's showing that it's awaiting automated usage update and to check back later. The system's pretty fast, so I can just come back here, and this is showing me the current billing cycle, which I can actually copy over the previous charges, which we'll get to in a minute. But I'm going to go into the previous billing cycle here, and you can see immediately what it's done is it's showing me that from the 1st, if I click into here, it's showing me how many minutes were used, the rate, the monthly service fee, and any of these international usages that were used. 0 is showing up here. We're going to fix this. This is actually a bug. It's because it's actually less than a minute was used, so it's actually seconds. So we'll either put a decimal or the actual seconds amount to clean up that interface there. But it's, again, this is showing you in real time, like from that date, from February 1st up until February 14th, what that was. So if I wanted to go ahead and set an effective date, let's say I change the effective date. All right, so let's just quickly look at that again and see, all right, well, there was 2,240 minutes used. So if we go ahead and edit that effective date, and let's say we make it the 15th, okay, and we save that. Same thing, you're going to get a little thing that says like check back later. I'm just going to click off here to the side, and I'm going to go back into that billing period. All right, now you can see my costs have increased, and it shows that essentially from the start of the billing cycle, which is the 15th, that 5,196 minutes were used, and it's now showing you that it's not prorated. So we do all the complex calculations behind the scenes for you, and this is integrating with the NetSapiens platform in real time. And despite the fact that these charges have occurred in the past, it's actually pulling the usage for that billing period that you created. So what this enables you to do is to onboard customers, that may be in between billing cycles, or maybe you just wanted to, bring them into the system with, from a certain point in time. We are now providing that flexibility in order to do that. And we also make it super easy to, bring them into the current billing cycles and moving forward. So for instance, if I'm in the current billing cycle, I can just go ahead and click this button, copy from previous, and it's going to go ahead and copy that over. And same thing, it's saying awaited automated usage update. I'm going to click out, click back in. And you can see that already almost instantaneously that is there. So it's showing me now that from February 15th up until present day, 1,755 minutes have been used at a rate of 0.006. And essentially that there has not been any international usage. And the system is flexible enough where if you wanted to go ahead and let's change their plan to minutes bundled, and let's give them a $100 monthly service fee, and let's say that we're including 1,500 minutes, and let's charge, well, let's say a penny, for the overage. So if I hit save, immediately it's going to go ahead and switch the computation, and it's immediate. It's showing you what the overage costs are based on how many included minutes there were and how many are used. So it makes it really easy to surface at any given point in time how much your customer is spending in terms of usage on the way that you configure the plan. And the same is configurable for toll-free numbers as well as international usage. And it breaks everything down right here for you in an easy to understand format with all the taxes computed. So we hope that this makes it super easy for you guys to, at a glance, be able to drill into an account and be able to see exactly
I think we might have lost you there, Wojciech.
exactly how much is being spent within a given billing period and what that usage is, so that if you do need to make adjustments without issue. Hey, I'm sorry.
No, sorry there, Wojciech. It sounded like you lost audio for just a second, but you're good now. All right.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But Dan, let me know.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll take I'm going to take control back. We're going to go over some internal updates too. And give me 1 second here. All right. So just going to navigate through. Again, we had some other updates coming out as far as network goes. So the new call processing server, I know we had briefly mentioned that on last month's webinar. 7 times the capacity of our existing nodes, all new state-of-the-art solid-state drives, best-in-class everything across the board. That server is actually already up and running. We're sending some traffic through to it, doing some testing on it now. And we're also moving over all the CDRs and other records from the other nodes to this server so it can be fully ready for production. And eventually we are going to make this the primary node in the Apollo cluster. And we're working on refreshing all of the call production servers as well over the next year or two. So our ETA for this to be in full production is going to be the week of March 8th. We're basically just final leg, just wrapping up testing and moving stuff over, but everything so far has been going amazing. So no reason to think that will get pushed out any farther. Additionally, we also added a 7th carrier to our pool of PSTN carriers mostly for redundancy and coverage. This carrier specifically is more used for termination on the termination side. So again, if you guys have any call quality or anything weird that you didn't used to have before, definitely let us know. But so far they've been on our platform now for about 3 weeks in production, and all seems very, very well on that front. On top of that, we do have a v41.2.2 maintenance release coming soon. You might have already seen, I think that was scheduled for our Zeus cluster already for this weekend, and Apollo should follow shortly after that. So again, and if you guys aren't subscribed to notifications from status page, please make sure you do. That's where we do communicate all kinds of maintenance, incidents, all that type of stuff. So if you're not subscribed there, you're not going to get those notifications. So really important you do. You can just navigate to status.viirtue.com and you can subscribe there to email, texting. You can even subscribe to Slack alerts if you need them as well. Go VoIP 3.0 for Android. That was a hot ticket item. I know the Android app was not up to our standards. We'll put it that way. So the NetSapiens team just released the 3.0 of their version, so our neutral branded version. We just pushed that out to the Google Play Store today. It might take a day or 24 hours to actually appear in the Google Play Store, but it should be there very soon. So if you have any clients on there, I would definitely recommend the upgrade to the 3.0, much more stable and just overall some new feature enhancements there with chat and SMS and some other things. And then finally, as far as network goes, we did add multi-language support for auto attendant transcriptions. So that is all there and supported now as well, and pretty easy to use. And then the final slide I want to go through today is our Viirtue Learning Center. We built a non-branded, neutral branded version of this, just wrapping up the final videos for that. all seems to be well. Again, it's a neutral branded learning center designed for your end users. So as you're onboarding your end users, similar to how Donna's music on audio production store works, you purchase credits. So reach out to your salesperson if you are interested in purchasing credits. And what you do is you get a promo code that has those credits applied to it, and then you give that promo code to your customers so then they can go on and take those courses. So we created courses for each scope of user within the platform. So we have basic user, there's both call center scopes, as well as the office manager level user in there. And then we are working currently with Poly, and I'm sure some other vendors will follow shortly thereafter on adding courses that are specific to the devices. So that stuff should be in there too. And then on top of the courses having the scopes of users, they also do go into detail with things about like web phone, web meetings, and things like that. So again, you can easily train your clients. The goal for us was to have your onboarding process to try and make that as simple as possible and automate as much as we can for you, just like we do everything else. So again, if you are interested in purchasing those credits, please just reach out to your salesperson and they'll be able to contact you back. So we do have a couple of things in here. Donna, somebody had actually mentioned that you could have used them as their example. Again, I'll share you to that offline. And as always, we'll send out an email after this with the recorded version of this. If you did join late or anything like that, or if you do have any questions or concerns, you can feel free to voice them there. And we'll also send something for the raffle that Donna is, or that contest that Donna's put together for those free recordings. So we'll get that out to you. We'll contact whoever won that. And awesome. And we thank you guys so much for joining us today. Again, please direct all your feedback over to us. We love to hear it. And Donna, I'll let you sign off if you want to say goodbye.
Okay, well, I'm excited to know who it is. So yeah, send me that email. But everybody, thank you so much for giving of your time today. And if you have any questions, I'm always available to answer. I know that the contact information is on there, and I'm looking forward to working with every one of you. Have a fabulous day, and thanks again.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.